everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about working from home with kids, because that is what I've been doing for the last couple of months because of quarantine, COVID-19. My offices are no longer open and we're all working from home. And of course, it's been a super big challenge because we're doing so with kids. Even if it's not COVID-19 or quarantine, these tips could still be useful anytime where you have kids at home during the holidays or summer vacation. Any instance where you will have your kids at home with you and you're still working from home, these are all ways that it can help you manage work-life balance and keeping up with your work and staying productive while still being able to focus on your kids and give them the attention that they need as well. Before I get into today's video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Tip number 1 starts before the day even begins. The day before, the night before, pack snacks and lunches the same way that you would normally would if they were going to school. Having snacks and lunches already prepared will really help you stay efficient throughout the day. A lot of your time gets spent prepping snacks and preparing meals. That's one of the biggest things I find that sucks up my time while working from home, is that every time you have to stop and prepare a meal, which was different than if you were in the office or if your kids were already at school. Those meals were already prepared because you usually do that the night before or that morning of. Doing that as though you were still working in an office and you would have to prepare your snacks for your kids in advance anyways, helps you to stay efficient and productive throughout the day. Tip number 2 is to get up before the kids. If you can get up and get a lot of things out of the way before they even wake up, you are winning. You're gonna feel that much more productive throughout the day because you've gotten so much more accomplished. And we all know as parents that kids tend to slow things a little bit down while you're trying to get things done. So especially getting those things out of the way that you need to do for yourself, like getting up, getting your hair done, getting an outfit on if you decide to not work in your pajamas all day. Just being able to have some time to yourself where you can get some tea, have breakfast, start prepping, and maybe even getting some of your tasks out of the way for work. Or one of my favorite things to do is actually get up and try to get in an exercise before my day even starts. That gets my blood pumping and energy going for you to tackle all the rest of the tasks out of the way. So getting up before the kids is crucial into accomplishing a lot of things before they even wake up, and then you have to turn a lot of your attention to them. Tip number 3 is one that I've covered a lot, but I'm still going to go over again, and that is having a designated workplace to work in your home. I've covered this in a video that I've done previously, which I'll put the link up there. I showed you how to create a workspace from scratch in your house and how to decorate it and make it feel motivational and productive. Having a place in your house where you can work, where you're not just working at a kitchen table or a dining room table, will really put you in the right mind frame for yourself, but it also really helps the kids to have a better sense of boundaries. When you're at your desk or you're in your office, it will really help them to realize that you as their parent are not really accessible in that moment, and really helps them to have a better sense of when it's time for them to engage with you and maybe or engage with another parent, or you can set them up doing something else while you are working. So I think it's really helpful to have a workstation or workplace in your house that will really enable you to kind of create that boundary for them, and that understanding that you are working and it's time that they have to maybe be a little bit quieter because you're on a conference call, or to give you a moment so that you can get a task done. It really helps create that separation, which is really hard for kids, that when you're in the house, they really feel like you're still accessible. So at least having a space where they know, okay, it's a trigger for them. Okay, mama, papa, they're at work right now. And they can help feel that they know that this is a time where they have to let you work, and helps you to stay focused in that moment. Tip number 4 will really kind of depend on your employer, but my employer has been really understanding about the concept of work-life balance and getting the fact that we are working from home. This is not typical working from home, but this is working from home with our kids, and therefore they've been flexible about our work hours. So my tip number 4 would be that if you are able to work in shifts, don't necessarily work the straight 7.5 to 8 hours that you're normally expected to work during the day. It's not as possible when you're working at home with kids. You really got to have to break it up because your kids need your attention, and especially for those of you who don't have any other partner in the house, if you're a single parent and you're the only person watching your kids at that time, it's crucial to be able to break up your day and be able to switch off focusing on work and focusing on your kids. So what is best is try to focus on working during times when your kids are occupied with something else or is a natural break in the day for them. So for example, if you have really young kids, that might be during nap time. With little older kids, with toddlers and any other kids, you can set them up with lunch and work during that time. Sometimes I have fit in working while my kids are at lunch, so I sit at the dining room table or the kitchen table with them, and I'll get some work done while they're occupied enjoying a snack or lunch and watching a show. So being able to work during those different break times throughout the day is really helpful. For some of you, you might also find that working in the evenings after you put your kids to bed is really productive. Sometimes I have been super productive in finishing a number of tasks after I put my kids to bed because I'm no longer in mommy mode. I'm not worried about what's the next thing that I'm going to be interrupted for, or what's the next snack or meal that my kids need, or what else I need to set them up for. So really kind of gets you uninterrupted work, which is why my other tip of getting up before the kids is crucial as well. If you can get a lot of work done before they even wake up and in the evenings after they go to sleep, that can be really helpful for you to kind of focus a little bit more on them during the day. Tip number 5 is to take breaks with your kids. Typically, you would have 2 15-minute breaks and a half an hour lunch, so definitely take those breaks with your kids. So take time to play a game with them, grab a snack with them, go for a walk. It will really make them feel that you're still engaged with them throughout the day and you're just not just locking yourself off in an office or at your desk, and they'll still feel like they're still present with you and getting to spend time with you, and that's healthy for you at the same time. You need to take breaks throughout the day. You need to take breaks from your work and give your eyes a rest, give your brain a rest. So being able to have a fun moment with your kids, maybe playing a game, coloring with them, even watching something educational with them, that will make them feel that you as the parent are still engaged with them, and it really kind of helps lessen some of that mommy guilt that I feel that while I'm working all day and I'm trying to focus on my kids, but at the same time I know that I'm not quite giving them the same amount of care and attention that I normally would if I wasn't trying to work at the same time. It's been a super challenging time for parents, and it's been one of the hardest things about quarantine. So for you, that it might really help that you know that if you can take those breaks throughout the day with them and do something that is really that they're looking forward to, it really help you to feel that you still were engaged with them throughout the day. My last tip number 6, is that screen time is your friend. Just make it educational. A lot of parents are concerned that they are putting their kids in front of the screens too much, but I think it's okay to give your kids some time in front of a television or streaming their favorite show. My favorite thing to do is just to make it educational. So we have a rule in our house that even with my youngest kids, they don't get to watch anything in the house unless they watch something educational first. So they watch The Magic School Bus, Storybots, Wildcrats. There's different shows that they can watch where they're still learning something, and usually we'll do like a little debrief with them after they're done the show. So I actually make sure that they listened and really learned something while they watched it. So when they're done watching, I'll ask them, what did you learn today? And they'll explain what they learned on that particular episode. And if there's something they don't understand, then we go over it. So it's a way that they are still staying occupied and focused on something else while you get a task done for work, but they're at least learning something and they're being entertained at the same time. Don't feel so guilty about putting them in front of a screen. It will really help you to not feel that if they are at least learning something in that amount of time. Those are all my tips on how to work from home with your kids and still stay productive. Please let me know if there are any other tips that you find are working for you. I'd love to hear them because I am still working from home with my kids. So anything I can hear about from you that will really help me, I would absolutely adore it. And please let me know if there's anything else on this topic that you would love me to cover. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this video, and I will see you next week.
I'm working from home, and I have a meeting.
COVID-19 or quarantine, even if it's not COVID-19.
And I've done my meeting, but I still have to do work. Oh, come in.
I hate when it takes like a little time to get into the flow. Okay.
No. Yeah. I'm almost on this page, and then I can do the next one.
This is not, I was doing so good, and then I had 50 billion interruptions, and now it's throwing me all off. Okay.
Yep, done. Done this fish, Mama.